Hi, I'm Cemalettin Taşken. I am with you today with the 20th episode of İranPod. In today's episode, I will focus on United States and Iran relations during Joe Biden's presidency. The 58th presidential election in the United States has resulted in the Democrats' candidate of Irish descent, Joseph Biden's winning. When Biden takes office, there will be many issues that need to be dealt with. The United States-Iran relations has one of the top priority. It could be assumed that until Biden's inauguration day, the Trump administration will further escalate the tension with Iran and leave Biden heavy burden. However, Trump's attempt can further clarify Biden's choices and preferences, especially on the United States and Iran relations. Perhaps it can push Biden to do more than the nuclear deal. Joe Biden may also try to establish good relations with Iran to balance the pressure on Saudi Arabia and Gulf states or Israel on Tehran beyond reverting to the nuclear deal. Why am I talking about this possibility? Because the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has played the gamble of putting pressure on Iran throughout the United States and lost the gamble. In the 90s, Israel identified Iran's nuclear program as an international security issue and brought it to the top of the United States agenda. When Netanyahu took office, he called the Tehran's nuclear program as an existential threat to Israel. His strategy was leaving the President Barack Obama only two options, forcing Obama to either turn a blind eye to Iran's nuclear weapons efforts or to fight against Tehran. Netanyahu assumed that Obama would not tolerate Iran's nuclear weapons production. However, Netanyahu was wrong in his prediction. Beyond all the provocative policies of Israeli Prime Minister, Obama chose to another option. This option was real diplomacy based on mutual compromise with Tehran. The Obama administration and Iran started secret negotiations in Oman at that time, and Obama offered Tehran to be more transparent about nuclear negotiation and agreed to enrich uranium to meet the energy needs of Tehran's territory, provided that they abandon nuclear bombs. Biden must refuse to plan his down on Iran, just as Obama did. He will think more than just the nuclear deal because, especially the last few years, has shown that as long as the tension between the two countries escalates, there won't be no sustainability. I would also like to express the shortcoming of the 2015 agreement. The fact that it was built only on the elimination of the nuclear problem was diminishing the enforceability of the deal. This deal, which emerged with the nuclear weapons concern, was weak in content to address other concerns. Unfortunately, the agreement was not designed to start a new era between the two countries. Obama's negotiating team hoped that any success would lead to a breakdown in relations or a wider softening of Iranian foreign policy, and his approach produced an agreement with Iran that Washington could accept. However, the United States allies in the region, especially Israel, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates, preferred to clash rather than deal between the United States and Iran. They tried to prevent the balance in the region from changing in favor of Tehran by using the military and economic superiority of the United States. They also do not hesitate to sabotage the existing diplomacy at the expense of throwing themselves on fire in a possibility United States and Iran conflict. Many officials studying in this issue in the United States find the value that the United States attributed to its partnership in the Middle East exaggerated. Washington's lack of resistance to the provocative efforts of its partners in the region is always criticized. It seems as a wrong approach to try to calm them rather than take them on the road. In my opinion, the political mind that is used in the United States think tanks may have other calculations. At this point, the United States convinced Iran to limit its military options first, then build the armies of its allies with some arms deals and aid. I would like to point out that between 2014 and 2018, Washington increased its arms sales to Riyadh by 220%. 1 year after signing the nuclear deal, the Obama administration signed the largest military aid package in United States history, an agreement that provided a total of 38 billion and military aid to Israel in 10 years. These data are remarkable in terms of showing that the United States prefers a balanced tension in the region. President-elected Biden at least as great an opportunity as Obama has, and Biden's priority will be to ask himself what kind of relationship the United States will establish with Iran in his term in the next. It has been realized that recurring hostility or sane politics of the United States administrations no longer serves the interest of the country. The power elites support establishing better relations with Iran towards a policy beyond the nuclear deal. The efforts of the Iranian diaspora in the United States are also in the same direction because after 30 years, although it's so difficult, but a direct diplomatic bond with Iran will not only help to the United States to avoid conflict in the region, it can also help Iranian policies more effectively. Therefore, in the future, Biden may make it clear that intends to normalize relations with Tehran beyond the nuclear deal. Of course, how this process is read from Tehran is another issue, as you know. The conservative political mind in Tehran is in favor of the continuation of the status quo rather than a possible peace discourse. Was ex-President Donald Trump's withdrawal from the nuclear deal, let alone the prospects of a solution, rightly made the idea of negotiating with the United States even more impossible. The diplomacy game between the United States and Iran will continue in the next period, of course. Maybe the doors will be forced again and the thresholds will be tried to be eroded again. However, it should be said that the moderate atmosphere and the distance covered during the Obama period keep the hope for lasting peace alive. We have come to the end of our broadcast today. Thanks for listening to me. Hoping to see you in the next programs. Goodbye.